Hey guys, I am so excited today to be with our Mom Entrepreneur of the Year for I Help Moms. She was just awarded this incredible recognition at our Yes We Can conference, and we are so excited to have you on with us today, Grace.
Thank you so much for having me. Super happy to be here.
There was so much going on at the conference, and I know everyone wanted to talk to everyone and have fun at the same time because we're all about having fun. And so I wanted to circle back and really delve into some of these really important topics. You know, you and I are both moms of three. We've known each other a long time now, and I just have absolute admiration for your ability to cheer other women on, to be genuinely authentic in your quest for lifting others up with you, and wanting others to find the same happiness and fulfillment that you have, Grace. It is so amazing to watch your journey. And I want to hear, how did you get started?
Um, so excited to be here and to share. I basically, as everyone knows, I'm a mom. I have three kids. I used to be a foreclosure paralegal, and once we started having more children, my job became from full time to part time, and then because my husband used to travel off for work, I ended up just becoming, staying home, which is one of the hardest job. Once you go from full-time working to being home, it's a huge transition, and by no means is easy. But I cherished that and I loved it. I was trying to lose weight, so I wanted to um, have something to do. So I ended up getting involved with Beachbody network marketing, and I learned a lot about social media, connected with people. And in 2014, when Steven was like one or two, I got my real estate license. I figured I had a little bit of a background, but the timing wasn't right. So I had my license. I had it in active. And fast forward to 2018, all three children are in school, and
Yeah.
I wanted something to do, but I know that I still needed to be present as a mom. So I decided to activate my license. I joined the team, and fast forward, it's 4 years. It's been one of the best decisions that I've ever made, and I really love it. I was a little bit nervous because, as everyone knows, there are a lot of realtors, and especially where we live in Parkland. And I was coming into a world with, very successful people, and sometimes that could be intimidating for anybody going into any career. What makes you different, and how are you going to get business? But I was always a hard worker, very passionate, and I said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go in 100%. And like anything I do, I did it, and it's been great. So
Oh my
that's how I got
gosh.
started.
I love it. And the thing that really stands out to me in what you're saying, Grace, is you were grateful at each stage that life presented to you. And I think that is such a key differentiator, and that you were already looking ahead saying, okay, I know when the kids are all in school, I want something for myself. So you had planted that seed while still enjoying and embracing the season you were in. I think that is just extremely brilliant.
Thank you.
And not everyone wants that, but I think, like you said, I too transitioned from corporate to home and back out again. And it's a huge adjustment. And I can't say I embraced it quite as well as you did.
Yes,
And
you
that's why
have.
I find what you're saying really inspiring. And it leads me to the next part of talking about routine, right? So again, when we talk about those big shifts where it's all about us and our life and our career goals, and then we shift into mommy, and then we're, juggling and shifting back out. Talk a little bit about your routine. You look absolutely stunning today. You had an early morning meeting. I think
Thank
that's one of
you.
the areas that I always struggle with is, how the heck do you get to these morning meetings with these groups when you have kid drop-offs? Like, I want to hear from you. What's your routine?
So, yes, it's funny because it's actually exciting. Obviously, I don't have to go to the office every single day for my particular job. So I really enjoy these Wednesday mornings where I just have to be up and ready and not in my workout clothes. And I feel like I've gotten so much done, and it's only what, 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Um, in order to make this happen today, I basically last night packed all the bottles of water, picked out the clothes, did the snacks. The more you do the night before, the crazier your morning is gonna be. I'm not perfect. Every morning it's not perfect, but mornings where I know I have to be somewhere, and you have to be on time,
Yes.
and there's driving because our meeting is in Fort Lauderdale. So
Yeah.
it wasn't a Zoom meeting, and it was an in-person meeting. Um, and Natalie missed the bus, so I had to take her. I can make this stuff up, I'm telling you. But so normally Eric and I, we take the kids to school every morning. So today he took them, but I pretty much got up earlier so I could have time to get myself ready,
Yeah.
and then everything would be done. So you just have to plan ahead, just like with anything. And sometimes I'm not that good, and sometimes it's crazy. But the one thing, I'm more of a morning person. So I always try to get up early and work out. And again, some days it doesn't happen, but for the most part, when the routine goes that like that, when I wake up and I do what I need to do,
Yeah.
I feel so much better because I did something for myself. But the trick is to plan ahead.
Yeah.
So the more you do the night before, the better your morning is going to be.
I love it. And I think if you talk to women that are really experiencing volume success like you are, I mean, you keep going to the next level, is exactly what you're saying. There's a routine in place, there's good habits, there's discipline. I wake up at 5 2. I'm in my office clearing out everything that I need to do so that my brain can be focused when I hit that work zone. And so I love that you're talking about getting up at 5 a.m. because it's not easy. I love to hit that snooze button too, but I just know I'm so much better and so much more present to be there for the kids in the morning and like get everything done when I do wake up and take care of myself. So I love that message. I think that's so empowering.
Yeah.
And the next thing that I wanted to talk to you about is social media. It's something you crush it. I mean, your videos are fantastic. And
Thank
I
you.
also want to point out one of my favorite things about you is you have a heart of service. It's not about grace, 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 grace. I've been blessed to have you come to our businesses and view them and take video. You are all over South Florida doing the same thing for businesses that you want to lift up and rise alongside with. And I really admire that. So I want to ask you, because I think a lot of our entrepreneurs that we're at Yes We Can have this question. How do you know when to spend the money on a videographer, on professional editing, right? And then sometimes when you just have to suck it up and do it on your cell phone and do
Yeah.
it yourself and figure it out. That's really, I think, a core question that a lot of us have.
I think, and I tell this to a lot of people that are just getting started in real estate or maybe any other type of business. When I first started, I did not have a marketing budget, right? It was just me. Everyone knows you don't make money until you close on a deal. So you're basically just working and until you get paid. So you have to do what you could afford at different levels, but as your business continues to grow, you have to invest money in your business. And the better your business is doing, the more you have to invest. So when I first started, I was doing my Facebook lives, my stories, because I've always loved sharing my life, and not just in my business, but as I deal with my business and my family, and just putting myself out there,
Yeah.
right? And so when I first started, I couldn't do what I do now, but as I started growing, then I decided to do a few things. And what I give an advice to anybody going, pick one thing that you want to invest money and commit to it, because the
Awesome.
last thing you want to do is say you're going to do something and then you do it and then you stop. So I started out with a newsletter. I hired somebody, they put it together for me, and I'm like, okay, I'll take over. Well, after 2 months, I realized I didn't have the time. So then I hire her full time, and I don't even have to think about it, right? So you got to spend time making the money, making activities where you're good at, and you got to start delegating. And this also has to be done at home, right? So I was like, I really like doing video, but editing and doing all that stuff, that takes a lot of time. And I wanted to start working on content videos about telling people about other businesses, right? Just like when you love something and you have a good experience, you share it, right? So somebody goes to your gym, they feel amazing, they love the community, they talk about it. It's the same thing. So many people are moving to South Florida, to Parkland. So I wanted to start featuring those businesses because a lot of people don't know about them. And so it's all about networking, right? Like when you go to a network event, you're just learning about somebody. And when they say, oh, I'm looking for a gym, and I'll be like, you should go to Vice. It may or may not turn into
Yeah.
business, but that's, see, people have the wrong um, thought about
Yeah.
networking. You don't go to a networking and you come out of business. You're really making connections, and that's how you have to think about it. You have to think that you're connecting with people, and once they know you and trust you, then you build a relationship. But you have to switch your mindset, and that was my whole, when I started into the videos, it was really about being an expert, right? Like, I love Parkland. I have kids. I've been here for 8 years. I want to tell, if anybody needs to know something about Parkland, they know they can ask
Yes.
me, go to my YouTube video. But yes, once I decided to make those videos, it was like there's no stopping. So we started out with, I think we were doing one or two, and now I'm doing like four,
Yeah.
and it's been great, and I love it. But you have to invest money back into the business if you want to grow.
Yeah.
Like Elena said, you have to build. It takes a village,
Yeah.
and it's true.
Oh man, no wonder you're our mom entrepreneur of the year. I love it. I'm so fired up talking to you. It's such great wisdom. So my final question for you is again something that we talked about at Yes We Can. And one of our panelists said there is no balance in motherhood and working and juggling everything that we have to. She said it's really a symphony. And
Hmm.
sometimes the tuba's really loud, and sometimes the saxophone's going, and sometimes the violin is going, and you're just enjoying the symphony. And I would love to hear from you. What's maybe your biggest piece of advice or biggest secret on how you do it all?
Um, there's no secret and there's no balance, and but I think it's good to acknowledge when you need help.
Mm.
So when you feel like you're crumbling, and sometimes we're so hard on ourselves because even though we're moms out there working, I think the expectations are still the same, right?
Yeah.
The kids want you to be present. Your husband wants you to be present. They want you to have food made. They want you to take you places, and unfortunately, there's no way you can do it like all and not go crazy. So I think you have to acknowledge when you need help and where your time is more valuable. So as my business has grown, I started allowing people to help me. So I have a wonderful babysitter that helps me. And anybody tells you that they don't have some sort of help in the background, then they're lying.
Yeah.
Like, because you
Yep.
cannot you cannot have a successful career and still have it all together without
Yeah.
somebody, a husband, a
Yep.
partner,
Family.
like a family member.
Yeah.
So acknowledge where you need help. Don't be hard on yourself. And I rather pay somebody to help me with laundry or whatever,
Yeah.
and then I can spend that quality time with my kids rather than me taking away from that time.
Yeah.
And that's because I feel like I have to cook and I have to do this, and they're not going to remember that. So you have to pick and choose your battles, and sometimes the beds aren't going to get made,
Yeah.
and sometimes the house is going to be messy. But at the
Yes.
end of the day, you got to spend the time where the most valuable, whether it's at work or at home, and adjust whatever you can, right? And bring people as you can, but let other people help you. And just know when, like with therapy, right? Like, talk to people. Like, it's really good to sit back and evaluate the situation, and then bring people where it's needed. And that's what I've done. Without my babysitter,
Yeah.
I couldn't do this, because I can't tell somebody, oh, I can have go to a listing appointment because I have to go, pick up my kids, right? It's a full-time job, and it's a different kind of full-time job. We don't have a 9 to 5. So you have to be 100% committed,
Yeah.
to whatever your schedule or your job is.
Oh, I love that authenticity. I'm so grateful you shared that because I do feel a lot of moms scroll social media and they think that these women are doing it all alone, and we're not. And we are a village, we're connected, we're united. And the more honest conversations just like this we can have, the more inspired women can be to really reach their greatness in their own path on their own way. So, Grace, thank you so much. I am just thrilled getting to talk to you. You inspired me. I'm so excited.
Oh,
And
you
I'd love for you to
inspire
share
me and
what's
all
your
of us.
YouTube video, what's your Instagram, so that our moms can really engage with you, because you are a community pillar, someone that truly wants to lift others up.
You can find me on Instagram or YouTube under Grace Dieterich or Happy Buying and Selling with Grace. But I think if you just my handle at Grace Dieterich, you can find me, and on Facebook.
That's awesome. Well, thank
And
you so much.
my website, Happy Buying and Selling with Grace.
I love that name, and it makes me happy every time I say it. Thank you for being on this journey of Yes We Can. I truly cannot say enough how much I appreciate your support, Grace. And I've got to tell a little story to end here. Grace got a VIP table at our Yes We Can event, and we had some lovely moms sit down at it. And I'm on stage, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't do anything in that moment. And true to her name, she was graceful about it. She was forgiving about it. There was nothing I could do in that moment. But as soon as I could rectify and fix that situation, we got everyone resettled at that VIP table. We had an amazing night with Elena Cardone. And that is the true character of what shows women that want to empower others, that are understanding. And Grace, your name just couldn't be any more perfect. And I just thank you for your support along this journey.
No, thank you. Thank you for having me. And thank you for all you do in this community, because you are making a difference for a lot of these women that sometimes are dealing with the things that we deal with, but they don't talk about it. And we're all struggling, and we're not perfect. So we go through the same struggles like every other people. So thanks for all you do. And I had a great time. It was a great conference. Elena was amazing.
I'm so excited. More good stuff to come. Much love, Grace.
Can't wait for next year. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.